I hope we're going live. Yes, we are. I look crazy. Got such an intense
Nice.
glare. Nice. Cool. All right. Looks like we're up. Cool. Cool. All right. Hey, K-Boos. Christian in the chat.
Hello, K-Boos. I can't see anything because I'm on my phone.
All right. Yay! I'm assuming the yay is not to you seeing anything. All right. Well, let's dive in, I guess. Welcome, everyone, to the first stream of Paranormal Happy Hour, a weekly random mix-up of recent strange news, sightings, spooks, and show hosts. My name is Gil, co-host of Black Cat Report, and with me here this fine evening from RKB Paranormal and Life Beyond 6 Feet, the heart and soul behind Beer, Booze, and Boogeymen, Damion.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
Where Damion and I are the guinea pigs this evening, but we're excited. So
We are.
well, to start off with, I'd like to give a quick note about Paranormal Happy Hour. As new streams come out, some planned, some spontaneous, different mixes of hosts from different Beer, Booze, and Boogeyman episodes different mixes of hosts from Beer, Booze, and Boogeyman will be taking the lead as we live stream and chat on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Kick, and whatever else we can plug in and update you on the paranormal with. As for the best way to keep up with the madness, all you have to do is subscribe to the Beer, Booze, and Boogeyman YouTube channel or follow us on your favorite social media platform at Beer, Booze, and Boogeyman. Now, with that out of the way, let's hold on one second. It's gonna drive me bonkers. There we go. Now I can see the script. Okay. Wow, it's a trial run. With that out of the
We're all
way,
good.
do us all a favor. Hop into the live chat if you're watching this and tell us what you think as we cover odd news, UFO updates, cryptid sightings, and finally, to round out this episode, we'll be discussing what some are calling the now deadly Annabelle the Doll Tour. First up for us this evening will be odd news, the strange, the bizarre, and the lucky. As it turns out, July was a darn good time to gamble. See, July 18th, 2025, a man experienced an extraordinary stroke of luck, winning $50,000 twice in 1 month from the same lottery game, securing two significant prizes from identical tickets. He ran the same numbers twice on two different lottos and won 50 grand in the same month. Now,
How the hell does that happen?
I have no idea. This is a good month to gamble because we have another case like that, kind of similar, and yet another one, also based entirely on improbable luck. A Massachusetts man who accidentally purchased two identical Powerball tickets for the same drawing ended up winning two $1 million prizes totaling $2 million. The guy bought duplicates by accident. So there's a bunch of lotto stories like that over July. I don't know what it is now.
I can't even win a free ticket. So it's like, how the hell do these people win millions of dollars, like by accident, more or less?
I have no idea. You have to, what is it? What's the motto? You have to play to win. Is that it? I think it's something like that.
Something like that.
I don't know. My mom was saying, well, this doesn't help anybody right now, but maybe she was right in some ways. Actually, no, this doesn't work. Maybe it does. She was saying around July 4th, some psychic had said you're supposed to go out, buy a single lotto ticket, just one, and you were almost guaranteed to win. Right. So we did that. My mom was in town and we did that, and we didn't win shit. Well, we won our money back. That was about it. So take it, take it
We
how you
shouldn't
want.
lose anything.
That's true. Well, this next one is very brief, but it's just very weird, and I had to throw it in. Also, on July 18th, same day that that other guy was winning $100,000, there was a very odd prank, I guess, that kind of emerged out of British Columbia, where a woman's phone was completely inundated with calls, nonstop calls about a missing cat that didn't exist. And this apparently came from some t-shirt that got made with a fake phone number on it, or seemingly fake phone number that actually turned out to be her phone number. It's just,
Wow.
what the I don't know. That it was just weird. It's like, what are the odds of that? But also, like, if you're making a t-shirt, didn't you
Right.
check the phone number first? I don't know. Well,
Right.
I got some paramedic stories because I know Damion loves those now. On July 17th, 2025, just yesterday, a 911 call reporting a person trapped in a rushing California canal led emergency responders to discover a discarded blow up doll. Similarly, paramedics in Little Rock, Arkansas came to the rescue of a raccoon whose head was stuck inside an empty Campbell's Chunky soup can. Wow. And just a day before all that, on July 16th, animal rescuers in London were summoned to a fish and chip shop to wrangle a quote loose python that ultimately turned out to be a local person's escaped pet corn snake, which does not at all get to be the size of a python.
Oh, now I
No.
want to know if they gave that doll mouth to mouth.
If the what?
So I want to know if they gave the blow up doll mouth to mouth.
Yeah. Uh, I hope whoever
Man.
did it goes to the clinic very soon after doing that. Um,
Right.
oh,
Oh shit.
no, it's all that. Those are all kind of like fortunate stories, lucky stories, somewhat a little bit odd, but sadly
Right.
of all, although we shouldn't cry. Uh, this month on July 15th, there was an overturned milk truck in New York's Columbia County, resulting in what the local sheriff's office described as, quote, a significant spill of milk on the road. Yes. Basically, the entire area got flooded with milk. Well, lastly, for our odd news, and we're just kind of running through these at the beginning while folks are hopefully popping into the show and stuff. Lastly, for the odd news is the first installment of what I would like to title "What the Fuck." A particularly bizarre event involved a Yeti blood oath ritual in Colorado. This article published on July 18th. A priest faced criticism for orchestrating a fake blood oath ritual involving a man in a Yeti costume during a ski trip organized by a Denver seminary. Priest, Father John, I think this is how you pronounce his name, Father John Nipple, intended this as a quote bonding experience where students were led
Oh
to a
my god.
room to meet a faux Yeti and were told they had to take a sacred blood oath to join the church.
Oh, what the
This,
fuck?
this highly unusual event generated controversy, go figure, and led to an investigation by the Archdiocese of Denver. What?
Oh, yeah, that
I,
tops it right there.
I don't know. All I know is that if I ever start a cryptid punk band, it will be called Yeti Blood Oath. Swear to God, that is way too good.
Uh, that's insane. Wow.
Y'all missed the Yeti Blood Oath, Laura and Doobie the Cat, and thank y'all for joining.
Yeah. And see, the stage name would have to be Reverend Nipple.
Dan's name was Reverend Nip. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. If they did that at the Sunday school I went to, I wouldn't be atheist now. I would be a part of that church.
Oh, man.
Well, next up, UAP updates. Going first to New York. Recent data indicates a notable increase in UAP reports across North America. In New York State, 66 unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP sightings, were reported in the first half of 2025, according to data from the National UFO Reporting Center, NUFORC. These incidents, logged between January and late June, involved a variety of mysterious aerial objects, including glowing orbs, silent triangles, fast moving disks, and shape shifting lights. The sightings spanned rural hamlets, suburban skis, and the bustling airspace of New York City, marking a slight increase from the 65 reports in the first half of 2024. Hotspots included urban centers and smaller towns like Evans Mills near a military base, which saw repeated orb sightings in March, prompting witnesses to speculate about connections to defense activities. Witness accounts detailed advanced maneuvers such as sharp right angle turns, sudden accelerations, and zigzagging flight paths. A particularly vivid sighting on March 25th, 2025, in Chester involved two extremely fast white orbs that that executed a nearly 90-degree turn without deceleration, transforming into dark aerodynamic ovals. Another account occurred on June 24th, 2025, when a commercial flight approaching, yeah, I missed the word jet. When a commercial flight passenger jet approaching New York City witnessed a metallic ball flying below the aircraft, describing it as a perfectly round, shiny sphere that moves steadily away. That one in particular, though, like, I remember seeing that making headlines. Like, it was a bunch of folks on a plane coming into New York, middle of the day, right? I think it was like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. or something like that. It was just like a bunch.
Right.
And it's a plane full of folks coming into New York. There's going to be a lot of tourists. People all have their cameras out as they're like, coming in.
Right.
So there were tons of cameras and everybody filming this, and it was just like, just like, yeah. But that's probably a weather balloon. Well, with that said, Canada is getting serious about UAP, finally. See, further north, Canada's approach to UAPs is undergoing a significant transformation. July 14th, 2025, Dr. Moa Namir, Canada's chief science advisor, released a new report urging the creation of a new federal body to standardize, collect, and investigate UAP reports. The quote, Sky Canada project report also explicitly encourages pilots, cabin crews, and air traffic controllers to report UAP sightings without fear of stigmatization, emphasizing that investigating these reports could enhance airspace security and strengthen national security by identifying potential threats. This recommendation signals a clear move away from historical dismissal of UAPs by official government bodies. And this is also something that, yeah, this is probably modeled almost identically after UAP legislation, or I guess an agency that was put in place just a couple of years ago here in the US. There was a massive effort made to try to destigmatize this as much as possible, because for the entirety of all the years of modern UFO history, if any pilots so much as mention seeing something like this, they might lose their wings. because they're like, you're crazy. You're up there in the air, flying multi-million-dollar platforms, sometimes with hundreds of people on there, and you're hallucinating. So there
Right.
just became this whole veil of silence around it. And so one of the biggest efforts here in the US over the past couple of years is just to get pilots to report these. And now that it is starting to get destigmatized, reports are coming in like fucking crazy, right? Well, back over into the States here, we have Michigan UAP sightings. In Michigan, 36 UAP sightings have been reported in 2025, contributing to the state's historical ranking as 10th in the US for UAP reports since 1936. Most recently, June 29th, a person near Detroit reported a mass grouping of high altitude random pattern reflective objects, dozens, captured on video with no visible aircraft or sound. Let me see if I can find that one here real quick, actually. See if we have a video for that. Give me just a moment. Maybe, maybe not.
I'm just waiting for like the Independence Day type of shit to start happening.
Right? See, I don't know. When Will Smith, this is not loading. When Will Smith was slapping up on stage, yeah, he was just keeping his arm warm. That's my opinion.
Right. Right.
It's like he's the only one that can save us. Where is trying to find this video? Let's see. Yep, it is not loading for us here. Well, yeah, so a day earlier, June 28th, an individual near Port Huron described seeing a cylinder-shaped white craft hovering about 5 seconds, then slowly went behind clouds, estimating its size to be at least that of a school bus. Overall, these reports contribute to a broader national trend, with over 2,000 UAP reports logged across the US so far in 2025, indicating rising numbers and renewed scrutiny on totally missed a word. Indicating rising numbers and a renewed scrutiny on the part of Congress and the Pentagon regarding their knowledge of these phenomenon. D-Booz, what do you think? I know you're not normally down with the UFOs, but what's your kind of take on all of this as somebody who's not always like plugged into, every little sighting?
I mean, I've always thought there's got to be something else out there. And if they've always went to this much trouble to keep it a secret, like what are they really hiding from us? And now it's like, okay, well, we have a ton of people that can hack into our shit and figure out our secrets. We might as well just let it out now. And now you're just suddenly seeing all this stuff. So is it really just the government doing shit and like, say, like secret planes or whatever they're building and or is it really something from another world that's finally starting to really show face? Like, it's just one of those things where I know we can't be the only life force in this universe.
Yeah.
There's got to be something else out there, whether they're little green men or whether they look exactly like us. Only time will eventually tell.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just weird that all these years they try to keep it a secret. Now suddenly, okay, let's talk about it, and like shit's just popping up left and right. It's like, what's really going on here?
It's yeah. No,
it's interesting
point.
at least.
Yeah. And I mean, like, with UFOs, UAP, whatever you want to call them, flying saucers, flying discs, there's like periods of time, I guess, like eras, where there's spikes in reports and reporting around them. And it goes back to like quite literally pre-biblical times. Like, it just keeps going back. We have these different eras that existed, and it's not impossible to go through and, tell Ezekiel's wheel, the like the flying wheel that's like in the Bible, and like things like that, where it's like pretty sure that's describing UFO, or at least like it's not a unfair assumption to make, right? Or a guess to make on that.
Right.
And these things happen in the types of entities that are seen. And so, it's, who was it? Hillary Clinton that said, like, let no crisis go to waste or something like that. I think that was Hillary. But it's true. I mean, like, when stuff happens, like with anything, especially like in the US, I imagine other governments too. I just haven't lived under other governments, so I don't know. But especially in the US, where they're trying to pass a save starving children's bill, but somehow there's also like money being collected for, I don't know, cigarette breaks for the I-40 road repair or something. Like, all these other things kind of get attached to it as quick as possible.
Right.
And it's always a toss up, um, there's been a long history, especially with the CIA, of pushing uh, people to think that experimental aircraft are UFOs, right? That was, I think it was the Blackbird, the SR-71 Blackbird, and I want to say the U-2. You can go read the undisclosed, or the recently declassified-ish documents on the CIA's website, where they're just breaking down what they're doing in terms of intentionally misleading people so that they can do test flights over areas. Like, they were propping them up. They're like, oh, this person thinks that they saw a UFO. We're going to make sure that gets onto the front page of the news than other people that are out there. And then we'll be able to just fly through an area and nobody's going to believe the UFO witness. And the UFO witness doesn't know what the hell they're seeing. And that also means that all of our adversaries aren't going to pay attention to any of this. Right? It's a perfect kind of like cloak for something like that. So there's that, but then there's a long history of it happening. So, which is which? I don't know.
Right.
Where's your Yeti blood oath in the situation? I don't know.
It's definitely strange, and I have a feeling we're going to find out sooner rather than later.
It very well could happen, but I'm always curious about the fact that, like, it takes two to tango. I always say that, but the government can try to cover up, you know, aliens as much as they want, but that also means at some point, potentially, that the aliens are choosing to not come out either.
Right.
What does that lead to? I don't know. Yeah, maybe they just don't give enough of a fuck to talk to anybody, and they're just like, I don't care to validate myself. You, I
Right.
went to therapy. I don't need your validation. I don't know, but it's interesting. Well, let's see what we got up here next. Cryptid news. The endearing legend. Sorry. Yeah, enduring shadows. I need to adjust the lighting in here. The enduring legend of the Loch Ness Monster continues to generate new reports. June 17th, 2025, the second official Loch Ness Monster sighting of the year was recorded. A participant in, quote, the quest, the annual Loch Ness Monster Hunt, reported seeing, quote, something long and thin pop up in the wake of a small motorboat on May 23rd. This account was submitted to the official Loch Ness Monster Sightings Register, continuing a long tradition of Nessie reports. Earlier in the year, on March 5th, 2025, the first potential sighting of Loch Ness Monster for 2025 was reported at Doris Beach, where a witness observed a large, dark mass beneath the calm waters, described as part of Nessie's body emerging. That's weird. Now, I'm very up in the air about Nessie. That's just me, because a lot of them videos, I'm gonna be honest, just look like a stick. But maybe it's out there. Maybe that's its camouflage. I don't know if it is.
Right.
It's a little. I mean, I think sea serpents and like, you know, not even sea, but I guess large lakes creatures could definitely exist in some way, but I don't know. Maybe Nessie just bounced a long time ago. It was like, the area was getting too popular and gentrified by humans. I would like to see what other folks think of in the chat. I don't know how everybody's feeling about Nessie, if they believe or don't believe. Hmm. Well, now for everyone's favorites, a possible Bigfoot sighting was reported in Arizona on July 18th, today. A trio of volunteers searching for a lost camper in the Arizona wilderness described seeing a quote 7-foot tall bipedal creature covered in brown and white hair with a quote flat leathery face devoid of fur end quote. Now, to add a little bit more to this, the lost camper who they were looking for when they found them, well, when they found him the following day, she claimed that she had ran into the woods after being chased by glowing lights, adding yet another layer to this. There's some people that theorize 100% that UFOs and Bigfoot are just boom. When the rifts between whatever realms or dimensions kind of open up, other things slip through, or there's just a little back and forth. Maybe they're just letting their Bigfoot out for a pee. I don't know. Maybe they're on a galactic
Right.
road trip, but it's not uncommon for Bigfoot sightings and UFO sightings to happen in this way. But what is interesting is this woman who got lost in the woods wasn't even coming out with like a Bigfoot chase me. It was something completely different when she got found. So we'll have to wait a little while to actually follow up on that one. Now, Spirit Lake, in a place I can't remember what state Spirit Lake is in, but another aquatic cryptid sighting occurred on July 16th, 2025 at Spirit Lake, where a sea serpent was reportedly observed. Witnesses described a serpentine creature estimated at nearly 20 feet long, the broad, snouted head resembling an alligator. I don't know. I think it might have been an alligator. The creature surfaced, churning the water violently and rocking their boat, adding to historical accounts of a mysterious creature in the lake rooted in Native American legends. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Abby said, and welcome to everybody that's hopping in and joining us during this
Hello,
stream here.
hello, Abby.
I like Nessie. It's got to be my fave and only. Where'd it go? Water cryptid. I know. I think. How many water cryptid? Oh, we lost Deboos. Deboos just became a water cryptid. I will wait until he pops back on. I see is that there's only one. Seems like there should be a family. That's a good point. Laura said, my issue with Nessie is that there's only one. Seems like there should be a family. I don't know. Maybe it's able to reproduce itself.
Am I back in here?
Yes, you are. You were frozen with a funny expression too for a second. Oh, we lost him again. All right. Kristen said, right. Unless it's like a Bigfoot situation where some people conclude it's just one, but it's actually numerous that are just that elusive. You have to have breeding populations. Yeah, that makes sense. It's where people get into like the interdimensional arguments, all sorts of jazz around that. You good, Debo's? You back?
I think so. Gotta love that technology.
Gotta love it. See. All right. This last one, I'm not gonna pretend to know how to pronounce properly, but links to all these articles and stuff will be added to the show notes too. So if you missed anything or come across it later or trying to remember something, I'll have a full list of all the links and all the sections that are updated sometime within a few hours after this show. So this last one, bit of a catch here. Turns out a cryptid has been discovered to be completely true. 100%.
Uh-huh.
This is a real thing. A cryptid has been recently validated. Let me now pull up an image in another tab here real quick. I'm sure it's about to look crazy. Oh. Okay, wow. Hell yeah. Think this is? No, that's not it. Well, there's going to be a hard one to find. But the Dactylopicilla cambuyaya. Eh. Here, I'll put up the text for you guys to see why I'm struggling here. There we go. I no idea how to pronounce that, but I'll throw it in the chat. D-Booz is haunted after all. Aw. Future D-Booz is messing with him. I threw it up in the chat to the. What's that? Sorry.
My phone's being a dick.
Aw.
And there we go again.
No, you're oh, okay. I'm gonna have to get to him quicker next time. Yeah, I have literally no idea how to pronounce this. Anybody can break that down for me? I will give Damion just another moment. All right, you're there. I can see you, D-Booz. I can hear you.
Well, hopefully.
Sick.
Are we good?
Yes, 100%. All right.
All right.
So the last of our cryptids turned out to be true. It's that name which I can't pronounce, the Dactylopicilla cambuyaya. I don't know. Well, beyond sightings, field of cryptozoology occasionally sees the validation of previously unconfirmed species. Recent update on Reddit's R Cryptozoology forum confirmed that this thing I can't pronounce, a species previously known only from subfossils, is actually alive and well. While not technically a sighting of a mythical creature in the traditional sense, this does represent a significant cryptid discovery. A creature once thought to be extinct or purely theoretical is now confirmed to exist. Confirmation that this thing I can't pronounce is alive and well after being known only from subfossils highlights the dynamic nature of cryptozoology. This is literally the moment where they had the subfossils of this creature, or at least what they thought they were putting together with all the bones and all the stuff, for this thing to exist. It had only dated back, tens of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, and turns out to just totally be alive and well. So, score one for the cryptid hunters. That's all I'm saying. Aw, thank you, Hair Force. Now, D-Booz, you missed the exciting conclusion of the thing I'm never going to try to pronounce again. Oh, no.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Whoa, you were so stoic. I thought you had froze, but you were there. No, you're totally fine.
It's showing an error on my screen, so I don't know if I'm on or not.
You are totally on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm not going to touch anything.
Sounds good. Well, this is your time to shine, D-Booz. Lastly, tonight, the story and our discussion about the tragic death of Dan Rivera and Annabelle Dahl. A high-profile event that garnered significant media attention over the past week was the unexpected death of a paranormal investigator named Dan Rivera. Rivera, a 54-year-old lead investigator for the New England Society of Psychic Research, NESPR, died on Sunday, July 13th, 2025, while on tour with the infamous Annabelle the Doll in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The tour, titled Devils on the Run, featured the doll, which is widely known for its reputation of causing disturbing activities and being associated with demonic possession, as popularized by the paranormal legends and the films, like the Conjuring series. Well, emergency crews responded to Riviera's hotel room in Stranberry Township, where CPR was administered, but he died at the scene. Despite the doll's sinister reputation and the immediate public speculation regarding a supernatural cause, state police are investigating the death as, quote, natural, noting that nothing unusual or suspicious was observed at the scene, pending autopsy results. The New England Society for Psychic Research confirmed Rivera's death on July 14th, expressing heartbreak and describing him as a dedicated friend and partner who, quote, truly believed in sharing his experience and educating people on the paranormal, end quote. Rivera, an Army veteran with over a decade of experience in paranormal research, had actively promoted the tour through viral TikTok videos, further amplifying public interest in the Annabelle the doll and paranormal phenomenon. Now, Deepoos, I know you've been biting at the bit. What do you got to say?
Well, it's one of those things where since this doll has started going on tour, since they've started taking her different places, some shit's went down.
Yeah.
You know, when she stopped in Louisiana, you had like 12 prisoners escape prison. Then just like a day or two later, like a very old plantation house burnt to the ground. And now you have this investigator who just suddenly dies. Nobody knows why. No reports of cancer, being in bad health. And from what I've kind of gathered between different articles and videos I've seen kind of surfacing and stuff, he was like the main person in charge of this tour. Like he had built like pretty much a replica box of the original box she's housed in.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen a video just last night of him transporting her from the original box to the replica box so they could do repairs to the original box. And, you know, they claim, according to Ed and Lorraine, you know, they were never supposed to remove her from the box. They were never supposed to remove her from the room she was in. And people were definitely never supposed to touch her. Well, they did all three of those things. I'm not saying this doll is actually haunted, but like if there's even a slight chance, it's like, why would you fuck with that? Just to get a little bit of extra cash.
Yeah.
Like what are the chances of these different things happening when this doll is in the vicinity of the area? Sure, it could be a big coincidence. I get that. The inmate thing could have been planned, you know, months ago. These inmates could have been planning this for months, and that just happened to be the day it happened on. Somebody, you know, could have randomly decided to burn that plantation house down, or an electrical fire, or whatever happened. Just happened to be on the same day this doll was in town. Is it a coincidence? Did the doll have something to do with it? It's just one of those things where it's a head scratcher. Because in my opinion, I believe in a way objects can be haunted. I know some people don't believe that, but it's like I've seen cases where people have nothing going on in their house, and then they buy something at an antique shop, bring it home, and then this weird shit starts happening. It's like, I don't know, but for the different things that's happened since this doll's been on what they're calling a devil's tour or whatever the fuck they're calling it, I don't know. I think I would just put her back in her box and send her back home. If like she is the main cause of all this bullshit, like just send her home. But I don't know. It's just really strange. And then, you know, I think, but after the house burned, like she supposedly went missing for like 2 weeks. Like nobody could find her.
Yeah. And
like,
didn't it take a few days before they kind of responded to all the social media hype of her being missing, and like the video that they put out was kind of like, did you film that,
Yeah,
today, or is this an old video? Because like I think the dude like walks off
right,
the camera and then they go into another room and then it just kind of looks like a promotional video for Annabelle at that point. Like it looked like it had been filmed a long time earlier, which, that's
right,
also good. That's a good promotion plan if you're like doing a tour is like midway through the tour, have the star go missing. That's also a great way to get a break from everything, if you don't want to go to, I don't know,
right.
Des Moines. If you don't want to go to Des Moines, Iowa, like fuck. What? Or wherever they were going.
And for this guy to just suddenly die, and there's been no, I haven't read any reports of him being in bad health, him having like a secret battle with cancer, anything like that. Like,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure I seen a video just a couple of nights ago of like him 2 days before he died, like wheeling her case into this location in Gettysburg, like where they were going to be
Yeah.
doing the show or whatever they call it. And it's like they're in one of the most haunted towns in the country, in Gettysburg.
Mhm.
They wheeled her into one of the most haunted buildings in Gettysburg with one of the supposedly most haunted dolls in the world. It's like if all this stuff can actually be haunted and be possessed and everything, that's just like a love potion of fucking bad juju, man. And I don't know. It's I don't know. I think they should just take her back home and just stop playing with whatever may be happening.
Yeah. I mean, I'm throwing up your quote on the screen right now. Um, Love potion of bad juju. Um, no, it's I mean, I can see I guess I'm not of the spiritual side of things, although I love, paranormal stuff. So it's kind of like I'm split between the logic with things like this.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, because to be honest, like, if you're doing marketing, which I do as a day job, doing digital marketing and like promotion and stuff, all of these things are successful ways to promote a tour, right? So if you're already starting to get a little bit of
Mhm.
hype in any way, then being like, well, bad things are supposed to happen around them, and da 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 da, and this and that and the other. Let's make sure whatever town we're in, anytime something that's like big news comes up, we promote it from another account, and we're like, was this related? I don't know. And then people who are getting into it like, oh my god, whoa, that's nuts. That's just good marketing, right? So that's one side of
Right.
of my brain is I'm like,
Mhm.
that's solid. That is solid promotion right there. And it's also more or less free, right? So
Right.
fantastic marketing. But then I also hear what you're saying, where it's just kind of like, if you know you're not supposed to touch it, why are you touching it? Um, but to kind of like, I guess even push back on that a little bit, if the people that are closest to her who know everything about her, right? Or about this doll, if they're comfortable touching her, is she really that dangerous? Because like
Well,
those
I
are the
know
folks that
in the
should
video I
honestly know
saw,
best, you know?
I know in the video I saw, just it was either last night or this morning, of the Dan guy transporting her from one box to another. Like one, they did like a prayer and all this other stuff, and then he put on gloves. He covered the gloves in like holy water. Like
Mhm.
there was precautions to it. Like he wasn't just grabbing it bare hand and just throwing it. Like it was like a 15-minute long process just to move her from one box to another.
Yeah.
So it's like I guess they're kind of taking precautions, but at the same time, it's like why even do that? Why even move her from where you were told not to move her from?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm torn. I did wanna say though, wasn't part of the lore is that like priests have like refused to do anything, but wasn't she originally sealed in by like a Catholic priest, and like apparently she's on like some list of demonically possessed things, which is like, Catholics have the belief literally in some items on the planet are literally demonically possessed. Like that's a part of like processes for the Catholic Church, is like they have ceremonies and they have ways of handling that kind of shit. And Annabelle the doll is one of the things on that list. I don't know.
Right.
It's interesting. Yeah. It's hard to tell. I mean, because like honestly, even once the autopsy comes out, people are still going to have doubts, right? Because there's
Yeah.
a paranormal death, if it was a legitimate paranormal death, in some way, it's just going to look like a weird accident,
Right.
or it's just going to be staged in a certain way. I mean, a lot of times when like demonic entities are like messing with folks, when like, go to Goodwill and you find, I don't know, a used snare drum or something like that, and you take it home and then your house gets messed up. It's not like the racketing and banging and stuff, at least from stories that I know. You're more well versed, but it's not like all that stuff starts immediately. A lot of times isn't it
Right.
like the tension in the house builds up and like family members start arguing every like more, and there's like just kind of like a heaviness in the air and things start to become hostile, and then that energy just kind of
Right.
like builds on top. It's almost like they use the people as fertilizer for negative energy in the house, if that makes sense. That's
Right.
at least how I kind of
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah. That's kind of the way it always seems to occur when you read stories about this. Like everything's fine for a couple of days, and then like something like it just slowly progresses until they have to get rid of the object, or have it exercised, or whatever they end up doing. It's just like a slow progression.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
So
definitely interesting. And
we had a couple good comments here. I got this one from Laura earlier. She said, doesn't make sense that bad stuff happens near her, but not exactly where she is. What do you think about that?
well, I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess he wouldn't have been near the doll if it was in this. I think they had it displayed in the orphanage in Gettysburg, and he was found in his hotel. So it's like, I mean, it does make kind of sense. Like she's around it, but she's not right beside it when it's happening. So, like, I don't even know where she was located when the prisoners escaped and the plantation burned down. All I can ever remember reading is that she was in Louisiana.
Yeah, she was
Like
in
she was just
New
in the
Orleans.
state that it happened.
And
Yeah.
Marie Laveau's house burned down. Literally like the founder of, American voodoo, like one of the most badass, awesome
Right.
witches in history. But yeah, her house burned down too, to kind of add it to the list of things that happen in New Orleans. And her house has been around for 100 and something years. It's very well treated, very well
Right.
respected. Yeah, I don't know, man. Abby, haunted snare drum, that'd make for an interesting case. Zebu's, if all of a sudden tomorrow Annabelle the doll showed up at your house, your front porch, what would your plan of action be?
We would just be moving. We wouldn't even. I'd be moving. Now,
Just
because
like
I've always said,
awkwardly tiptoe around with each box, like not even touching her.
I've, I've,
Build a
I've,
small
I've
ramp
always,
over
I've
where she's
always
sitting.
said, I've always said, if I was single and wasn't married, didn't have any kids, it'd be a totally different story.
Yeah.
Like when Kristen, offered to send me that doll that she got sent. It's like if I was single, I would take it in a heartbeat. But I don't want to. If there is any chance that any of that is actually occurring, that something is actually possessed and fuck shit up, I don't want to put my wife and kids at risk. Like if I was single, I wouldn't think twice about it. I'd be like, you know what? You only live once. But it's like I'm not going to put my family at risk for that potential half a second thrill of seeing something or hearing something, or I don't know. If it showed up on my front porch, we'd be walking out the back door, getting in the car, and leaving.
What would you all do at home, everybody that's in the chat? I'm curious about this because, you know, there's the I think Davey, that's the safest route is just like get the fuck out and run. I guess the only place safe is in a different state, apparently. That's the safest way to get away from her. She's limited by state laws wherever she's at. Um, but I'm interested, type this here in the chat. What would y'all do? Everybody at home, everybody watching right now, if a doll like Annabelle or, you know, Annabelle herself showed up at your house? Curious. Because like that's the thing is there's this case where it's like a really, really like flagrant violation of like a known sealed object, right? If you're into that, this is like a very well known, literally internationally understood as like sealed demonic object with a clear list of rules that
Right.
I'm assuming somebody with, I don't know, list dyslexia saw and they're like, oh, this is the checklist for cleaning the case. And it was like, no, this is what you're not supposed to do. Because they literally just went down
Right.
the list like, and don't feed her cheese because she's lactose intolerant, and don't, you know, don't use scented detergent
Don't
on
feed her
her.
after midnight.
Yeah, so
Don't get her
make
wet
sure.
because it's like she's
Yeah.
a fucking gremlin, you know.
Like
Oh,
they went down the list and did everything they weren't supposed to do, but a lot of times people get demonic objects, or at least the stories around them, and it's completely by mistake. Right. You know, it's again, it's the haunted
uh-huh.
snare drums of the world, those damn snare drums, or an old bookshelf or something like that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. I definitely am of the general belief, and this goes for anything paranormal or non-paranormal, is like if you don't understand it, don't fuck with it. Just leave it the hell
Right.
alone. Like, because everybody jumps in and they're like, make sure to make a salt ring around it, or do this, or burn a candle in this color and say this backwards, or da da da. But every story I know always starts off with people start trying to fuck with shit. They poke the bear,
Yep.
and the bear wakes up, and they're like, "Oh, what do I do now?" And it's like,
Well,
leave it alone.
yep.
Leave the damn bear alone.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. Laura said, "We would mail it to a hated politician. It's hard to choose just one." That is fantastic. I am nominating Laura for the Paranormal Peace Prize on that one. That's a whole new form of warfare right there. I like that.
Right.
Man.
Oh.
Nocturnal Frequencies, welcome. Kristen said, be extremely respectful and move her to my office next to the other haunted towel. Brackets, thanks, Hair Force. Oh, get the rest of that up there. He seems happy there, and maybe she will too. Happy ghost dolls make happy lives. That's true. Any other advice? I
Oh.
think, man, Laura nailed that one right there. I didn't even think of that move. Fuck. It's a
Right.
whole new world of possibility right there. Man, there's got to be some like partially, you know, unredacted, recently released, declassified like CIA docs out there somewhere where they tried that exact same thing on Fidel Castro, because they did like 100 and something assassination attempts on that man and just never
Right.
worked. It's just all right. I got it. We have this voodoo priestess here. and we have this Appalachian lady which knows how to like do water witch work. We're gonna have them curse some cigars, and we're gonna send them to him as a birthday present. Like, oh man, they had to have tried that on
Oh,
him. Some crazy shit.
right.
I give Doobie all the credit for that one. All right, Doobie the cat. Enjoy that thing. Give it the piece. Yeah. I will say the individual who is the biggest skeptic of these things in the room is also the number one supplier for the hosts of these shows for haunted objects.
Right.
Just gets it gets easier and easier for him to say they don't exist as they slowly disappear from his house.
Right.
Um, we got anything else tonight, D-Booze? Is there anything else we should say or throw out there?
You know, I'm surprised you didn't have a story about the flesh teddy bear.
You're right. God damn it. I don't know how I'd get that up here fast enough. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna
Like,
this video is getting taken down for this one. Um, oh, this is bad. I'm gonna find a good photo. Do you remember what
what you
store it
sent
was at?
last time. I group chat.
Yeah. Oh God.
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, this is gonna haunt some dreams here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is from July 14th. It's posted on July 14th. Human skin teddy bear found outside convenience store. Turns out to be latex. Oh shit, we got an update.
Oh.
God damn, this
Okay.
looks real. Okay, cool. We are debunking here. Yeah,
Okay.
so I guess I can totally show this teddy bear now because I wasn't. Ugh, this is shit looks real. Let's put it that way. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, here we go.
It was
There you
definitely.
go. Let's get a nice zoom
You're
in on
welcome.
this. Horrifying.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow, good thing we didn't cover it then. Yeah, that was out in
Right.
Victorville, California on Sunday. Yeah, the
Well,
human skin teddy bear. What's that?
I can honestly say I'm glad that it was debunked as being. I said I can honestly say I'm glad that was debunked as being fake, because that would be absolutely terrible. Because it's like,
Yeah.
if that was true, it's like, oh my god, dude, that would be like almost like a modern day Charles Manson type shit. Like that
Yeah,
would
it's like
be. I don't know.
the hills have eyes. Like it's like who's it, Leatherface or whatever. It's like that would be what he would give his kid
Right.
to put them to sleep. You know,
Right. Exactly. I don't know. That would just be
those have eyes.
absolutely terrible if that was true.
That'd
But
be
yeah.
good news. Abby said that they are looking. They want one. Let's see. I saw this South Carolina artist Robert Kelly, not to be confused with R. Kelly. Robert Kelly of Dark Seed Creations has said the bear was made by his company and is currently being sold online for $165. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. It can be that thing can be yours for $165, and in about 85 years, somebody's going to be doing a video podcast talking about how dumb it was to take one of those haunted dolls out on the road and
All
how
right.
a bunch of shit burned down. Oh,
Right. Yeah.
type shit.
Well,
Yes. Well, I think that's it. What other announcements we got? I know Kabo's here in the chat. What do we need to tell folks before we hop off here? And also, thank y'all for showing up to our first run of this. Like I said up top, we're going to be doing these more often. We're also going to be having the formatting and things down. So please, if you had any ideas or things that you wish would be changed or improved as you were kind of listening to us struggling through this trial here, we're super open to hearing. Hit us up. Beer Booze and Boogeyman on Instagram and TikTok. Those are the two quickest and best ways to get a hold of us. Also, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always online for Black Cat Report on Instagram. Reach out to us if you were like, I wish you would have covered more of this, or could you structure the show differently or add in a section for this? Any ideas we're open
Right.
to. Part of the reason why we're doing this is we're trying to, make more content than just one show at the beginning of a month. Because believe it or not, algorithms don't enjoy when you do that. Thank you, Hair Force, and good night to you too, sir. So trying to get more content out there, trying to be more active, but also trying to discover better hours for when folks that enjoy our show are available. Because, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock on a Saturday in the summer is not really a good time to get people onto a live stream. Who would have guessed? I don't know. Speaking of which, Deepu's, when is our next live stream? I think it is, let's see, Tuesday,
August 5th.
August
We're doing it on a Tuesday.
August 5th. And I think we're doing, is it 8:30 p.m.? Okay, Booze, if you could throw it
I
up there.
think, I think we adjusted the hours a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. I
Booze,
think we
save
moved
us.
it. I think we
You're the
moved it
one that
maybe an
took
hour
notes.
back.
Yes. Well, while K-Booze gets that over to us, the topic.
But yeah, it's going to be August 5th. Sorry.
Mhm.
Go ahead. I was saying the date again. I was confirming it like out loud in my head.
Out loud in my head. So it's going to be August 5th around, we'll just say 8:30 to be safe. If not, y'all should be subscribed to this channel by now, please, if you could.
Right.
Subscribe,
And
you'll
have
be
the
able to get
notifications.
notifications.
Yeah.
So it'll be, I don't know if that's reading right. 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so no. Yeah. So it'll be 9 p.m. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Hey, Booze, you done breakdown time. So odd. So odd. 8. So it'll be 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, fuck Mountain Time, and 6 p.m. Pacific. So. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, who does Mountain Time? Nobody lives there. Do people live there? I don't know. No, I lived there for a while. That's all the time zones. I don't want to add more. You'll figure it out. But yeah, the topic is going to be night terrors and things of that nature. So if you've ever encountered the Hat Man, if you ever had too much NyQuil and were kind of in that weird state of mind and that there was a shadow man walking around your room, and you've heard night terror stories. And I will say, folks are submitting their stories like fucking hotcakes right now. It's like every single day I'm like looking in the email and another submission has come in. So hope folks keep it up because it's gonna be pretty damn good. Where's fuck mountain? I ask myself that every day.
But yeah, not just night, but like sleep paralysis and sleep deprivation. I know Gil's got some sleep paralysis stories to chat about.
And sleep deprivation.
I'm trying to get my wife.
I'm gonna share one early while we're kind of killing time out here. And while these awesome folks are still joining us, I have a fun one. So I did a 15-hour drive the other day from Ohio to where I live in North Carolina. Had to get the car back in that length of time. Bunch of shit led up to it. Should have been 10-hour drive, maybe turned into a 15-hour drive because of storms and, I-40 between Tennessee and North Carolina being washed out by flooding and really slow traffic and then fog and all this bad shit. Well, I got back home and I was laying down in the bed and I remembered something that I hadn't, or started experiencing something that I hadn't heard in a long time. And I was excited because it goes with this month's topic or this next month's topic. When you get really, really, really exhausted, and if you're sitting somewhere like quiet, sometimes, a lot of times, you'll start hearing what sounds like radio chatter. in like kind of in a specific location, but you can't like point to it, just like a direction, like back left of you or back right or something like that. It's like K937 822-417. Like it literally sounds like a bunch of radio stations like static that are just faintly playing in the background. It's a fucking weird ass phenomenon. Anyways, I was dead tired going on 3 hours of sleep. It was a shit drive, but it was fun hearing that again. So that's my sleep deprivation story. Shit's a fucking trip. I know why it happens. And I'm never really like horrified. I'm just like, fuck, I need to go to sleep. But I don't know, man.
Right.
Let's see. Documented. There's an interesting case of a guy who documented his death by sleep deprivation. He'd taken some medication that was what had ultimately caused it. It would jolt him awake anytime he tried to sleep. Scary shit, man. Damn. Yeah.
Ah,
Look, that noise. I love sleep. I just don't get enough of it. Kind of like money.
Right.
But
right.
I think that's all, bud. That's all I got.
Yeah. Like I said, we're gonna try to do this hopefully every week, if not every other week. It's probably gonna be different days, different times.
Different hosts.
Probably different hosts at times. Like one week it may be me and Kristen, the next week it may be Kristen and Joey, and the next week it may be three of us. It just, who knows how it's gonna work. It's all kind of trial and error, and we're just gonna see how it works.
Yeah. Tuesday at 3 a.m. Wednesday at 1 a.m. Saturday at
Right.
5 p.m. I don't fucking know. We're just gonna be picking random shit. Stay tuned, y'all. Make sure to subscribe.
Yeah.
We love y'all.
Right.
Thank you for showing up to our little trial run here. Y'all are the best. And we hope you have a fantastic night and fantastic weekend. Bye.
Yep. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.